All right, starting with breathing. Hands to the ribs, your lateral breathing. As you inhale, you grow tall and fill up the sides of the lungs. As you exhale, feel your ribs funneling back to center. Inhale, wide breath. And exhale, narrow. One more time, seated. Inhale, wide. Exhale, narrow the ribs. Narrow the waist. Finding your scoop. Let's take it onto our back. Same thing. Hands down by your sides. You can place them back on your ribs. But find your neutral pelvis. I want you to make sure you're filling up the back of your lungs. Inhale. And exhale. Twice more. Exhale. Pulling that navel in and up. One more time. Just focused on that breath. Now, how are we finding our scoop? I'm going to take my hands to this diamond shape, place it onto the pelvis, pointer fingers on pubic bone. I noticed I'm a little bit tucked already. I'm going to lengthen my tail towards the mat, down between my heels. There's a little hollow in my back. Make sure you feel your neutral. And we'll start our grounding sequence. Take a breath in. On your exhale, engage a little hamstring as if you're pulling your heels towards your bottom. Inhale again. And as you exhale, think of pelvic floor active lifting, glutes softly engaging. Again, inhaling, we're keeping the hamstrings, keeping the glutes and pelvic floor. Exhale, finding a little inner thigh. Inhale, keep the inner thigh, glute, pelvic floor, hamstring. Exhale, scoop the navel in and up under the ribs. Holding all of that, feeling your arms now reach down to the mat. Inhale. And exhale, feel even more grounded from your hamstrings, your glutes, your pelvic floor, your inner thighs, and your navel in and up. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, pressing the arms a little heavier into the floor, the head back into the mat, and we're feeling strong from head to heel. We'll start with our head nods. Inhale, tipping the chin towards the ceiling. Exhale, tipping the chin towards the chest. Just a little mobility for the neck. You might feel it to come down to the bottom of the spine. I don't think the bun was a good choice today for this movement. I'll have to think about that next time. Taking our head nod again into our first chest lift. So reach the arms, tip the chin towards the throat, lift the sternum, and think about your front rib cage pulling down towards your front hip bones. Looking at the pelvis, make sure you haven't tucked your tail under. Reach your tailbone towards the floor in front of you. And then lower back down a little bit quicker. Inhale. Exhale, chin to throat. Chest lifts to ceiling. Eyes on the navel. Take a look at your pelvis neutral and lower down. Exhale to lift the head. Lift the chest. Scoop the belly into the floor. And return. One more time, head tips, chest lifts, ribs pull towards the hip bones, and lower back down. All right, we're going to extend our legs out long, and I'm going to bring my legs towards you so you can see a little more to diagonal. All right, legs long onto the mat. Make sure your ribs aren't flaring up. Try to keep them drawn in. And we'll just do our little rotating open externally. And rotate to parallel. Squeeze and wrap the seat and rotate. Feel your inner thighs pull together. Rotating open, rotating closed, making it come from the thigh bone and close. Twice more. Rotate open, rotate closed. Rotate open and hold from here. If your heels aren't touching, walk them back together, squeeze them into the center. Point the toes a little bit more, and then we'll flex. Pull just the toes back towards your face, then the ball of the foot back towards your face, and reach through your heels. Pointing through the ball, through the toes, flexing from the toes to the ball to the heel. Heel, ball, toe to point, and toe, ball, heel to flex. One more time. Heel, ball, toe to point, and toes, ball, heel to flex. Turn back to parallel. Big toes squeeze together. Everything's pointing straight up. And we'll reach through the toes again, pointing in parallel. Toes, ball, heel to flex. I see that the feet are quite on the screen here, so I'll slide back. You can do this seated. Toes, balls, heels, flex. One more time, point through the balls, through the toes, and flex from the toe to the ball, to the heel. Moving into leg slides. I'm going to come back on my mat. You're still down on your back. We'll point the toes and drag one leg in, keeping that big toe down on the mat as long as you can, and drag your heel towards your sit bone. And extend the leg out, pushing it down through the toe as long as you can. Other leg, the big toe stays down, you're squeezing into that center line and extending back out nice and long. You feel your navel pulling up as you pull that knee and heel towards your bottom, and extend. Just one more time on the other side, pulling in, scooping, feeling connected to the floor, and reaching back out long. Let's come back with the other leg. Plant that foot firmly, drag the other leg in, and set that foot on the floor as well. We'll go into some of our rib cage arm movements next. So another fundamental, focusing on the ribs staying pulled down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead and back behind. And exhale, sweep the arms back down to the floor. Gaze straight ahead if you can, up to the ceiling. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, all the way back down. As you're arcing your arms overhead, broaden your collarbones, broaden your shoulder blades, and back down. Twice more, reaching overhead. Feel your back ribs stay grounded to the floor, and exhale back down. One more time, reach through your fingertips from the sides of your waist, and exhale all the way back down. Keep your arms down on the floor, and we'll do single leg lifts. As you exhale, pick one leg up, pull the navel deep. Inhale, touch the toe back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. These seem pretty easy as we get started, but we will go through a progression of these leg lifts. Twice more on that leg. Feel how heavy you can be on the mat without tucking your tail under. Switch the leg. Exhale to lift. Inhale to touch. Exhale to lift. Inhale to touch. Now you can reach a little farther away from your body if you want a little more challenge. 3 more. And 2. And last time. And that foot will come down. Now we're going to do an alternating sequence, right, left, and then left, right. So try your best to follow along. Here we go. I'll pick up my right leg. Keep it there, left leg. Lower the right leg, just the toes. Lower the left leg. Lift the left leg. Lift the right leg. Lower the left. Lower the right. Lift the right, lift the left, lower right, lower left, lift left, lift right, lower left, lower right. One more, right, left, lower right, lower left, then left, right, lower left, lower right, and then we'll bring both legs back up. Find the tabletop, squeeze the legs together. Now make them one leg, double leg lowers. Inhale to lower. Exhale, scoop and lift. No change in your spine. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Legs can get a little longer if you want more challenge. Progressing all the way to straight legs if you want a little more. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, I feel my abs shaking. Exhale, lift. Twice more, lower and lift. 1 more, lower and lift. And we can hug our knees into our chest. And then we'll take our feet back down to the floor. This time for chest lifts, we'll place the hands behind the back of your head. Cradle the head in your hands. You can even interlace them. Elbows can be slightly lifted up. Widen your back. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift up for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift head, neck, shoulders. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. 2, 3. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. 2, 3. Inhale, down and up. 2, 3. Inhale, lower. Twice more. 2, 3. And down. 1 more time. 2, 3. Hold it up there. Reach one arm forward. The other hand stays behind your neck for support. We make an arm circle up, around to the side and to the hip. Twice more, up. Exhale, around to the hip. Don't let the body rotate. And around. Bring that hand behind the head. Switch arms. Reach for your hip. Inhale, up. Open around. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale it around. 1 more, up and around. Reach both hands to the hips. Curl a little higher. Inhale, both arms around and reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. 1 more time. And around and hold. Right arm only. Left arm only. 1 more right arm. 1 more left arm. And lower all the way back down. All right, moving on to some pelvic movement. Here we'll go into our clockwork. Pubic bone will tip down between your legs, little arch of your back, and pubic bone tips towards your belly button, little tuck, arch and tuck, and arch and tuck, loosening up the low back. Twice more, and tuck. 1 more arch and tuck. Now we're going to keep our pelvis neutral for a little hover. Now I'm adjusting my feet, they're hip width apart, and hover your hips just an inch off of the floor. Hold that hover, think of getting longer in your neutral, and then we'll do our tucks here. Tuck your tail, lift your tailbone to the ceiling, pubic bone to your navel, and then back to that neutral. We're still hovered. We'll do 3 more. Tuck and stretch neutral. Exhale, tuck. Feel your low belly. Feel your glutes. Inhale, neutral. 1 more time. Exhale, tuck. Inhale to neutral and lower back down. Now our clock movement will go from right to left, or 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 1 hip heavier, the other hip heavier. If you had a bowl of soup on your pelvis, you're sloshing that soup right to left. Not a very big movement. You don't want it to spill over the edge. We don't want our leg bones to move too much. We're pivoting around the leg bones. Good. And then we'll find that neutral, back into that 1-inch hover, and our right to left movement here. You might feel like you can move a little bit bigger. A little sway of the hips Keep all of your ribs on the floor. One more time each direction. Find your center and lower down. Now into bridging. We'll come up like an elevator, one flat line of your spine. Use your inhale, lift up. And your exhale, roll down from the top of your spine through the bottom, all the way to the tip of your tail. Inhale up like an elevator. Exhale, roll. Try to wheel your tailbone up to the ceiling before you release down. Inhale, elevator up. Exhale, roll. Tailbone still up and then down. One more time, up like an elevator. And exhale, roll all the way down. Let's try a little corkscrew movement next of the spine. So lift up into our bridge. Tip to one side of your spine and roll along that side of your spine, just to the top of the pelvis, to the other side, and roll up. Continue that direction. Roll down that same side you started with. Roll to the other side and lift up. And we'll roll down that same side one more time. Roll to the other side of the spine and lift. At the top, find the center. Reverse your roll down the opposite side of the spine. Find your hip bones, find the middle, roll up the other side. And roll down that same side. Find the other side at the bottom and roll up. I'm going the same circular direction. Last time we'll come up the opposite side, find the middle, and our final roll down the middle of the back, right through the center. Good, we'll draw the knees into the chest. And we'll continue some of our leg movements. We're going to go into openings, they're called. So find your tabletop legs, shin or thigh bones right on top of pelvis, shin bones parallel to the floor, so making that 90-degree bend. Keep your spine stable as you open one leg to the side, then back to the center. Open the other leg to the side and center. Now our goal as we do this is to keep both sides of your hips evenly weighted on the floor. Use resistance as your leg opens and resistance as it closes. There's no flopping. This is contrology. One more on each direction, on each leg. Finish the other side. And we'll do that with both legs now. I'm readjusting, finding that tabletop. Open both legs, close them symmetrically. Both legs open, both legs close. You can press into your thighs to create that resistance. Press with the outer thighs, press into the inner thighs. One more time with the outer thighs and the inner thighs, and hold. All right, we're going to create some rotation of our ribs again. Feet come down to the floor. Let's place the hands behind the neck or the head, palm over palm like we were before. But this time we'll take one hand onto the ribs. We'll exhale and just feel that side of your ribs pulling in towards your navel. Inhale, fill up that side. Exhale, feel those ribs pull into the center. And inhale, feeling them expand. One more, exhale. This time we'll lift the head and shoulders. Hold the head and shoulders there. Inhale. This time as you exhale, we'll rotate toward the hand that the ribs, that's touching the ribs. Inhale to center. Exhale, press into those ribs and turn that direction. Inhale to center. Feel the external obliques, that corset around your rib cage. One more time. Exhale to rotate and press into those ribs. Inhale to center and lower down. We'll switch sides. That elbow can be slightly lifted off the floor, the other hand on the ribs. Use your exhale and just feel that side rib cage pull to center. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, ribs to center. Inhale, fill them up. This time we exhale and lift, feeling those ribs pull to center. Inhale, this time as we exhale, we rotate towards that side of the ribs. Inhale to center. Exhale, press the ribs into the midline as you twist. Inhale to center. 3 more. Exhale and inhale. Twice more. Rotate and center. Last time. Feel those ribs tucking in and center and lower down. Into a variation of the wrist cross. Hands go back behind the head. Head and shoulders lift up. And we'll keep one foot on the floor. So I'll start with my close leg, lift it up, bringing the knee towards shoulder, and then rotate. Feel as if you still have that hand on the ribs. And we'll lower down. Same side. Exhale, lifting the leg. Inhale, lowering. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. For 3. And touch the toes. And 2. To lower. 1 more time, twist and switch sides. Other leg comes in. Exhale, twist. Inhale, touch the toes. Exhale, rotate and lower. You have 4 more. 3. I'm not coming all the way down. I'm just halfway down. 2 more. And last time, lower all the way down, and we'll release our hands. And moving on to some side lying work here. We'll roll up to seated. Turn onto your side. You can lay down on your arm pillow, your bent arm pillow, or even prop up here if you prefer. I'm gonna stay here so kind of see what's going on. Starting again, some leg fundamentals. So we're going to keep knees bent. I have my feet flexed and glued together. We'll lift up like a higher. Let's point our toes. We'll start with the clamshell. So heels will stay together. Feel your pelvis stay stacked as you open that top leg and close. Really squeeze the seat as you open and resist to close. Neck is long. Body is still. You might put your hand behind your hips as well, and make sure that you're not falling back with that top hip. We'll do about 4 more like this, slow. Focus on squeezing that peach. 3 more. Pulling that navel in. Twice more. And last time, we'll hold that clam open at the top. Lift the bottom foot up off the floor as well, and we'll pulse open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs. Now we'll flex the feet again into the hydrant. So both feet are flexed. The whole foot, shin, and thigh bone lift and lower. And lift and lower. I'm thinking of my sit bones reaching away from my body so I can keep my little waist hovered off of the floor. We'll do 6 more. And 5, 4, 3, twice more, stacked hips. Last time, and hold it at the top. I'm going to push that thigh bone backwards so it's parallel or in line with my body and my shins parallel to the floor. And from here, booty squeeze, push back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm flexing that foot. 2 more. And one more full set of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll bring the knees together and straighten your legs out. And we can keep bottom knee bent again if that's comfortable for you. I'm just going to leave it there. Straight leg, pointed toe, slight little turned out position. We go up and down, and lift and reach. 8 more. 7, good stretch to the side of the leg. 5 more. 4, really reach that leg long. Twice more. Last time. And little circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep your waist lifted off the mat. 2 more. And then reverse it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Squeeze those cheeks. 2 more. And 1. And lower down. All right, well, stay on the side, but we're going to do some planking. So I'm going to use my hand to help me to push up, bringing that elbow underneath the shoulder and lift up out of the waist from here. Keeping the knees together and feet stacked. I'm just going to lift that hip up off the floor. Top arm can go up behind the head or on the hip. And here we go, up for 10. And hover. 9. Use your waist. Pull those ribs up like we did before. See you later. 5 more. Here's 5. Shoulder strong. 4. Pull those ribs up. 3. Last 2. Here's our hold at the top. Hold it. Stack, lift up higher. Maybe that top arm is reaching through the crown of your head. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. You can take a little side stretch, and then we'll switch sides. Starting with the clamshell, find your comfortable position. Point the toes. Knees are about 90 degrees from the body. And we'll keep the bottom foot on the floor as we squeeze and open, squeeze and open. Spot yourself somewhere so you know that your hip isn't falling back behind you. Keep it going. All the way up, all the way closed. 5 more, full and slow. 4, and 3, 2. This time we hold it up. Lift both feet up off the floor now. Pulse at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 more set of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs lower down. Flex the feet for the hydrant. Tummy tight. Lift the whole leg up and the whole leg down. And to keep the knee and the ankle nice and still. The thigh bone and the shin bone at the same level. Feeling the heat in the back, side of the glute. 5 more. 4. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. Holding back to the parallel. Bring your thigh bone back in line with your torso. Hip opener here as you pulse back like you're donkey kicking someone behind you. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make sure you're not leaning forward to get the length backward. Let's go 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the knee forward. Rest the leg down for the straight leg lifts. Point the toe. Feel that wrap. And we go up and down. Lift and reach. Think of both sit bones again. reaching toward the end of your mat away from your body, keeping that little tunnel under your waist. 5 more, 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Hold for little circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. I'm thinking of my bottom leg pressing into the floor a little more. Let's reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming into your side plank, up to your elbow, right underneath the shoulder. Pull those ribs up away from the floor. Just adjusting my feet a little here. We go for the lifts up. We go 10. If this is hard on your shoulder, you can leave your hip down and just think of that lift. And lift a little less on the shoulder that way. We'll go 5 more. And 4, 3. Of course, you can advance your plank as well. Twice more. And then hold this one up. Maybe the arm comes up to the ceiling. Holding, squeezing the waist. Organize that shoulder. Lengthen through your neck. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hip down and take a little side stretch here. All right, time for some prone work. So we're going to lie onto our stomach. And we'll start with the fundamental called flight. So it's like our swan, but the arms will be down by your sides. Your palms are facing up to the ceiling. And now you're going to look down at the mat, bringing your forehead down. Starting with your collarbones lifting up. Well, your navel lifts first, then your collarbones. The arms float up off the floor. The head floats off the floor, and then we reach back as if we're trying to touch our toes, lifting the upper back a little more. Now when you come down, remember those front ribs are drawing down towards your front hip bones. Again, collarbones lift, head and arms lift. Look forward to the end of the mat as you reach back to the back side of the mat and release. Relax the shoulders. Lift the collarbones. Lift the arms. Lift the head and the chest. And release. We'll do 1 more. Abs are in. Ribs are tucked in. Collarbones, arms, chest and head forward, arms back. And we'll lower down. Now for swan, we'll place the palms on the floor by the shoulders. Pull the elbows back away from your shoulders like they're coming down towards your hips. And from the swan, I want you to first lift your palms off the floor and then your head and shoulders. Melt back down, palms can touch. 2 more, palms lift. Inhale to lift the head and shoulders. Exhale, hands and head down. 1 more time, inhale, palms lift, head and chest forward. Exhale to lower. Now the hands will stay on the mat. We'll get a little bigger using some arm strength, but as little as necessary. Coming up to your swan. And then exhale, melt back down. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, the ribs, the navel, maybe even the pubic bone. And exhale back down. 1 more time, look forward. Pull the elbows back as the chest stretches forward and return all the way down. All right, we'll take our hands underneath our forehead, going to some glute lifts here, just like we did with our side kick series. We'll bend 1 knee, flex the foot as if you're going to stamp a footprint on the ceiling, lift and lower the thigh bone. Keep both hip bones pressing into the floor. Notice there's no rotation of your hips side to side. Your belly lifts as your heel lifts. Squeeze the seat. We'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower and stretch that leg way out. Other side. The foot is flexed. Lift the thigh and lower. Lift and lower. Make your tailbone reach back to the heels. You don't want your back to be arching like this as you lift your leg. There's no movement from my low back. We don't want to use our back for our butt, and we want to squeeze our butt to open the front of that hip. Twice more, up and up. Now stretch that leg way back. Other leg once more. Both legs are reaching really long. Tailbone pulling towards your heels. Straight leg lift. Lower. Same leg up and down. Keep that leg. Try to touch the wall behind you. 6 more. 5. 4. Great for all that sitting I've been doing. 2 more. Last time. Other side. Lift 10. Make sure your leg isn't wandering way out to the side. Keeping the leg close to your center line. 5, 4, stretch, stretch, stretch. 3. Body is perfectly still. Last time. And release. Let's bring our hands to our mat and push into rest position. Give your hips a little shake out side to side. And then we're going to come up to seated. So feet in front, they don't have to be too close to you. I want you to be as far out as you need to get your best posture ever. So you're right up onto your sitting bones. You're pinching your sit bones together and holding the back of your thighs. We're going to do half roll backs. So inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, wheel your tailbone under. Notice the top of my spine is staying the same. Trying to get my pelvis flat against the mat. And then roll back through the pelvis to come back up tall. Exhale, wheel your tail under. Try to get your navel to the floor behind you. And inhale, wheel the pelvis back up. Roll it back. Preparation for the roll-ups. And lift. Now we'll hold it back there. Arms are long. They're going to reach forward. Going to those arm arcs we did earlier. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms down. Inhale, keep the ribs closed. Exhale, scoop your abs deeper. 3 more. Exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, ribs stay in. Exhale, navel pulls in. Last time. And reach for the thighs. Roll yourself up to tall seated. We'll do that again with a single arm movement. So we exhale and scoop to roll back. Reach the arms. 1 arm up. And we'll switch, marching soldiers. Reach and reach. A little quicker breath pattern. 3 more. 3, 2, and 2. Last one and 1. Both hands to thighs and roll yourself up. All right, rolling like a ball preparation. You can always do your full roll if that's calling to you today. But sticking with our fundamentals here, I'm going to keep my hands behind the thighs, tip the feet up off the floor so I've tipped back onto my tail. Now without rolling really quite yet, we're going to roll that pelvis under. Try to get your low back to touch the floor. There it is. And then roll yourself back up. Roll your tail under more. Pull your low back toward the floor. Check in with your neck and shoulders. Make sure your collarbones are staying wide and we're not cramming our chin down onto our chest. I always talk about holding the peach between your chin and your sternum. Roll your low back to the floor and roll back up. All right, we're going to roll it. So make yourself as round as you can. Keep your gaze on your navel and rock and roll, balance. Rock and up, balance. Don't let your legs flop around in the air. Keep them perfectly still. Massage the low back. Deepen your scoop. One more time, we'll roll back and up. And stay up here at the top. Okay, all of that preparing us for our roll-ups. So bent knees, if hamstrings are really tight, we want to start with our stretch forward today. Crown of the head reaching for your knees. Toes pulled up to the ceiling and lead with your abs, pulling back, your pelvis rolling under, your low back, mid back, upper back. Reverse that to come up. Lift your head, your chest. Keep your legs pressed into the floor and inhale, stretch forward. If your knees are bent, it will look like this. Your heels dig into the floor. You might straighten your legs as you reach your arms overhead. As you roll up, soften those knees again. Press the heels into the floor and stretch forward. Twice more. Whatever's working for you, stick with it. Exhale, peeling up. Inhale, stretching forward. Exhale, roll it back. Reach out through those legs. And we'll finish today rolling up and stretching forward. We'll finish the roll up that way. So we'll come back onto our stomach, going to our swimming variations. We prepped for that a little bit with where we were a moment ago. Swimming, both arms and legs reaching. We did our leg lifts, so we'll do that alternating. This time our arms will alternate as well, so opposite arm and leg. Pull those front ribs down towards hip bones, navel's lifted, forehead hovers. I'm doing right arm and left leg, and reach away from your center. Lower and switch. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 3 more sets. Here's 3, and 3, 2, and 2. Press the opposite hand and foot to the floor. 1 more time. And come to hands and knees. We'll do a quadruped position here. Moving into a little cat and cow from that. Tuck the tail, use your abdominals, let your head drape between your arms. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Twice more, exhale, curl the tail under, pull the belly in and up. Inhale, lengthen without flaring your ribs. 1 more time. And then find your neutral. We'll move into some push-ups, starting with shoulder blade push-ups. Keeping frozen shoulder at bay. So you can see that my arms are staying straight. I'm letting my sternum drop down toward the floor, and then I'm widening the upper back to lift the sternum up between the shoulder blades. Feeling your shoulder blades pulling towards the spine and down the back, and shoulder blades wrap around the ribs into your armpits. No elbows right now. Belly stays lifted away from the floor. Reach through the crown of your head and get your neck a little longer. Pulling the shoulder blades away from your ears. All right, into neutral, and then I'll just give you a little break off of the wrists because we have another version of push-ups coming up. We'll do kneeling tricep push-ups, so we'll back onto our palms. You could go fists if your wrists needed. The tricep push-up, we'll step the knees back, find your plank line from your knees, hips, and shoulders, and gaze forward to the end of your mat. Make sure you're pulling your chest forward as well. Elbows bend as big or as little as you need, right into your side body, and then push up. Tricep push up. Make sure you're not letting your head drop down. Keep your neck long. We'll do 5 more, or as many as you can. 4, 3, keep your belly tight, your ribs closed, 2 more. Last time, and then stretch it back. All right, back to planking. Option to go down on forearms if you want to get off of your palms. And I'm going to come more to the end of my mat. Adjust hands again under shoulders, nice and wide chest. Step 1 foot back, full plank. On that side, already engaged. Other foot steps back. Now, anytime I plank, I find my Pilates V with my feet, my heels together, big toes have a little space apart. And we're just holding, keeping lifted, keeping lengthened from your heels through your head. Keeping your breath into your back ribs, keeping your scoop. And you're zipping up those skinny jeans a little tighter. Go ahead and bring your knees down and rest it back. All right, we are near the end here. We're going to take some final stretches. In this rest position, I'll walk one hand over to the other side of the mat. I'm shifting my hips to the opposite side of the mat. And I'm feeling a good stretch to the outside of my hip, my glutes, and my lat, my shoulder. And then we'll do that the other way. Hands walk to the opposite side. Your hips will stretch away. Feeling that glute stretch, lat stretch. Relax the head and neck. And then come back to center. And we'll sit up facing each other. Little inner thigh stretch. Take your feet together like a prayer. And grow a little taller. Just letting my legs get a little flutter here, letting them kind of loosen up in this position. And then back from my ballet days, I'm going to keep a tall, flat back. Hinge forward as much as you can. And then round the spine, head towards the feet. Roll yourself back up. Hinge forward, round the back, roll it up. One more time to hinge and round and roll up. We'll reverse it, roll forward, head towards your knees, flatten out, and then stack up. Round forward, pull your abs deep. Flatten out from there, and stack it up. One more, round your back, head towards your toes. Flatten your back, and stack. All right, straighten the legs into your version of a straddle. Soft knees is okay, but we don't want our hip bones, our sit bones, to be lifting up off the floor. Keep them grounded. Here's a version of mermaid. We'll stretch over the right or one side. This is my right leg. Looks like my left here. Keeping that opposite hip down onto the mat, toes pointing straight up. And to the center. Let's go the other way. Keep the side waist lifted up away from your thigh you're leaning towards. To the center and the other side. And we'll flow, exhaling up, inhaling over. Exhaling, lift, inhale, stretch. Exhale, lift, and inhale, stretch. And we'll add on, turn towards your leg, rounding forward. Head towards knee. Take a moment there. My hip wanted to leave the mat, so I'm just kind of pressing back in. Abs are lifting away from the thigh. Letting the breath help deepen the stretch. One more inhale. On your exhale, come back up, arms open, turn the body the other way, and reach. Here's my back leg. Let your head release. Maybe your knee softens a little bit on that side. One more inhale. On your exhale, come back up. And that will do it today.